Hey guys, we're happy to be back. This is Sidebar with Miko and Sam. I'm your co-host Miko. I am not.
Yeah, that just let you see how long we've been going.
Okay, take two. And I was just so sure that was my name.
Girl.
Oh my God. We have to keep that as an outtake. We have to keep this.
I know.
That's funny as hell.
Girl. Okay, Sam. And you know we've been gone too damn long.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay.
Girl, I was crying. Okay.
Like, hey Sam, how you doing? Oh, that laugh. Okay, because I was so sure that was my name. Girl.
I know.
Nothing.
Girl.
Okay.
Okay, we ready. Okay. You never me to start it out.
Okay. Miko, you gotta put that down. You're making me laugh.
Cause you think I'm Miko. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Who the fuck am I? Oh my God.
Okay, I'm ready when you're ready. For real this time. Okay.
All right, I can't even look.
Girl, I'm crying over here.
Let me enlarge my screen because you're gonna make me laugh. Oh Lord.
And I'm Miko. Okay, but go ahead, Sam, for real. Okay.
Okay. All right, here we go. Okay. No, I keep changing the view.
Okay.
Full screen. What the hell? Cool. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hey everybody, happy Thursday. We're back. This is Sidebar with Miko and Sam, and I'm Sam. That's who I am. Who are you?
Girl, it is too early.
Who are you? Let's let the people know. Who are you on the other side of this? You want to keep
okay, sorry.
Let's just start over. All right, this time, if we laugh or not, we got to keep it going.
Right, okay.
I won't tell no joke. I'll be for real. Okay.
Oh, I got my light in it. Oh, okay. Like, are we not? Because look, girl, can you see me though, Sam?
Oh, I can see you.
Because it's like I can't see myself. I gotta fix this. But okay.
All right. 5, 4.
Okay.
All right.
Ooh.
All right.
Okay.
Ooh. Happy Thursday, everybody. We're back. We missed last week, but that's okay. We're back on track. This is Sidebar with Miko and Sam. I'm Sam.
And I'm Miko. Hey, y'all.
All right. So we've kind of happy Thursday. I'm sorry, boo. So basically we've kind of missed out a little bit on this Dave Chappelle Netflix special. So today we got two topics. We want to talk about that, and then we also want to talk about red flags. But first, we got to jump into this Dave Chappelle drama fiasco. And I only call it that because certain groups are trying to make it seem like it's more than what it is.
Right.
So, did you have anything you wanted to start off with?
I mean, you know what? Like, I just feel like even though like maybe it's still relevant or maybe it's not, but you know what? It's gonna always be relevant.
Okay.
For the simple fact that like he said, when he talks about them, it's more of him being jealous because like he said, you guys stick together.
Right.
You know, and he was like, we can learn a thing or two from you guys, but see, some people, it's not the majority of them that does not like what he's saying. It's just a small few who may have went through something when they came out, or who may have, you know, just in their feelings, and you know, they have their emotions more involved. And it's just like, Dan, can you see what he's trying to do, what he's saying to you guys? He's somewhat giving you praise, but all at the same time, he's not going to bow down and worship you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because you guys got to follow the same rules. But like he said, what he said he said he missed them Stonewall.
Listen.
Yeah, because you know them old schools, you know, they handle things a little differently. But like now, it's like you do this, you can't do anything without somebody calling you homophobic. So
exactly, and that brings up my question here. It's like, what was it that you heard in the special that made you first of all tweet that you weren't going to work for Netflix anymore, or you get your little group together and y'all I think they tried to interrupt a meeting or they did something. It's like, what was it that you think you heard? Because first of all, you're dealing with a genius. You're dealing with a comedic genius. And if you've ever heard if anyone has ever heard any of his special, you know that Dave Chappelle offends everybody equally. Everybody gets offended. As a Black female, as a Black person, you know, he's saying the N-word the whole time. But you know, it's like a loving word amongst friends, you know. But he equally offends everybody. But I think that in this particular special here, he's basically aware of the climate. I mean, you're dealing with a genius, so he's just not a dude on the mic with something to say. You know, he knows the climate. He goes too, I don't want to say he goes too far. He pushes the envelope is what I want to say. Yeah. But I think what he really does is that he forces us to think. The example he gave about Lil Baby or the baby, I don't know the difference between the two. I don't know. I know. Girl. Babies, I don't know who he was talking about. One of the babies. And he made a valid point. It's like our community, we can kill each other, we can pull each other down, we can rob each other, we can steal from each other. About that though, Sam. We can call our men niggas and this, and we can call our women bitches and hoes. We can do all this shit in the music. I don't nobody want to march or do a goddamn thing. But the moment he said something, and we did a video on this not too long ago about what he actually said. I honestly, although it was probably maybe he was caught up in the moment, I do not believe that he said anything of I don't know. I don't see the outrage. I mean, he said something about HIV, but it's not like it's isolated to that community. Every community has HIV. You know what I'm saying? So again, why were you offended? But it affected him after that. I mean, all his stuff got canceled. Everything got canceled. And that's what he was saying. You know, and those are facts. Those are facts. So
I mean, you know what? And Sam, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but just for a moment, like going back to, like you said, with the people who have things to say, but when it comes to but I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this together over here. But people who have something to say, they don't necessarily got the same things to say. Just like right now with Meek Mill with the whole bus thing. Oh gosh, with the girls on there and how the women are being represented, even though it was a Black woman who painted the bus and things like that. A lot of times we let certain things pass and we get to pick and choose what we feel is right. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I don't, how do you feel about the whole Meek Mill cover thing? Because like I said, and another thing is the way he was talking, he didn't have a problem with it, but like he said, he's gonna have to talk to somebody. He wasn't necessarily, he didn't know as far as what he was making it seem like, but he was like, yeah, it's on the bus. He knew it was on his album cover, but he didn't know that it was on a bus. But like he said, like, y'all focusing on this, let's focus on some stuff in the hood and blah, blah, blah. You know, he tried to, I don't know what he was doing in terms of trying to take it off of him, but I don't think he's ever trying to take the attention off of him, because no matter how you look at it, even if it's gonna draw attention, whether it's good or bad, because you could be riding down the street and you see some naked women on there, that starts a conversation between you and your kids possibly, or between whomever. So it starts a conversation. So how do you feel about it, Sam?
So I haven't heard, I must admit and say, I haven't heard what Meek had to say about it, but what I did see is that I saw he looked to be a white guy who was from the area, and he just so happened to roll up on a bus.
Yeah.
and he did a video on it, and he was highly disgusted.
Yeah.
And he was not wrong, in my opinion, in his observation of what he saw. I know they meant it in the best intentions, whatever, you know, if it's on the album cover, that's fine. If it's on the bus, that's fine, but you might want to watch where you drive the bus.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, because you got a picture of a lady bent over with a pink dot. I mean, like,
Yeah.
come on. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I mean, like, I got a question. Have you ever seen a bus like that with Asian women on it?
No.
Or white women on it?
Good point.
You get what I'm saying? Again, it goes back to what's been accepted socially and what is unacceptable. I just can't see I don't know. I just can't see other, I don't know, races on a bus driving through the hood like that. I don't know. And so why is it?
See it. That's
right.
So true. I didn't think about that.
And again, these are the conversations we need to have. And I think it's just, to be honest, before we were taken from Africa, I believe we were a strong unit. We were a strong family. You know, we were families, whether they were polygamous or whatever. I mean, we were ahead of our times. And to be here, moving into 2023, to where we're killing each other in certain cities, you can't go into certain hoods because you got on certain colors. I mean, it's just kind of, it's like, wow. It was like, wow. For I believe their mission of dismantling families across the board has been accomplished.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you still have those families that are still holding on and have those traditional values,
right?
But you know, all you got to do is turn on the TV real good, or turn on iTunes, and there you go. Here come the BS. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just a sad realization, and the only way. Oh Lord, what are some resolutions, Miko? I mean, like, how do we as a people turn this thing back around?
I think that we do it by doing exactly what, to go back to the original topic of one of the original topics, go back to what Dave Chappelle is doing.
Okay.
Hitting the head on, come straight forward, out in the open. Even he said, this is what happened to me when I was a little boy, or this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. Like, he's putting everything on the table, and he don't care who's judging him, he don't care who's going to try and cancel him, and things like that. I think that as a community, we do need to do, as the LGBTQ plus community, do like they're doing. They're sticking together no matter what. Even some girl don't even agree with them. Like his friend Daphne.
Okay.
She didn't agree with some of the things that they said, but some of the stuff that she did agree with, and she ended up killing herself because of them. I mean, I can't really say that, you know, because it's just like, because you don't know what else she was dealing with. But come on, y'all. You know, she's like, okay, my own community turned on me because I'm stepping up for this man whom I respect and he respects me. So it's just, I feel like we all could learn a thing or two from each other if we actually open up and want to learn a thing or two. But everybody is a boss now. Everybody is a this and that, and it's just hard and difficult, man. And it's about money.
At the end of the day, that's the bottom line. And I believe that's why their movement is so powerful, because they back that with money. Like, they affected the baby, a little baby's money.
Yeah.
You know,
it did.
Right. So it's just like, well, who determines, especially in this country where speech, you have the freedom of speech. You can say whatever the hell you want to say, which makes this one of the greatest countries alive. Doesn't mean it's right, doesn't mean it's wrong, but the fact that you can, you know, and you have that freedom is a beautiful thing. But it kind of feels like certain communities are trying to prohibit your freedom of speech and will bully you because they feel bullied.
It's like the bullier, the bully then became the bullier. Like, you know,
like, what did we really accomplish here?
Yeah.
You know, all you did was turn the table and back it up with finances, you know, because they got it. Apparently if they don't have it, they have people backing them. And their agenda for equality. And I'm all for equality. I believe everybody should have equal rights. It has nothing to do with jokes. You know, why did you even go there? Why did you even listen? And at the end of the day, we all know, all of us who know and love Dave Chappelle, we already know, first of all, he is uncancelable. Nice
try. You said cancelable.
Nice try. Because first of all, Netflix saw the special before they aired it. Don't nobody get it mistaken. Netflix did not air anything that did not go through that boardroom, especially with what he had to say. So I knew off top when I started hearing this stuff, I was like, first of all, ain't no way Netflix taking that shit down. Anything.
But I knew how much controversy that was going to be.
And that's why they pushing it. That's why they're pushing it. And so for the few people who found offense in what he said, okay, that's fine. But again, he offended everybody. Like he always does.
But he also said that he was a feminist, though. And he was like, you know what? And he was like, he always thought that feminist meant something bad, like you're against something or whatever. And he did, because I wrote it down too. He says a feminist means to advocate for social, political, or legal economic rights for women to have equal to men. You're fighting for them to have equal rights, political rights, legal rights, social rights. You're fighting for women to have those same equalities, like those same pay, the same everything as men. So like he said, dang, like I'm a feminist because I want that. But like he said, I ain't finna get with these stupid ass movement. We all dress alike to wear black and y'all gonna stop me too. Then like I feel like how to handle this thing, what's going on in terms of the internet.
Yes.
Seeking that before you seek anything else. I feel like we can all learn a thing or two if we want to. Try it. You know what I'm saying? If we just gave it some sort of I don't even know what to call it. Just gave it some sort of something just to get it started. Because you can't just push all of that on people and just be like, oh yeah, let me listen to Dave Chappelle or let me listen to, but like give it a chance though, just like you give getting up and getting on that phone every day a chance. Like let's take it back to the old school just a little bit. Let's just see how we can work this thing out. And maybe we can come up with something that could actually get us something more stable and stern that could help our grandkids and your grandkids and their grandkids, and versus us continue to have to fight because them white people, black people just do things differently. Asian people, they do things differently in terms of how we stick together.
Absolutely. And that's a great lesson to take from this, because he makes that very clear. Like you said from the very beginning, he's jealous of that movement. And I understand why, because they fully support each other. So especially for communities that have been suffering like ours, it would behoove us to learn a thing or two about sticking together and rallying together and putting stuff on the line, when it comes to being offended or discriminated against, and kind of sticking together and moving forward. So if we don't have anything else to say about that, we can move on to our next subject.
That's it with that one.
All right, so we want to talk about red flags. I've noticed lately, within the last 2 weeks or so, I'll be scrolling and I see these little red flags with little jokes, and oh man, they be so funny. They be
girl.
So and I probably should have had some screenshot. Maybe I'll post a few under our post here. But Miko, what is a red flag to you? And like, have you been in situations where you've ignored them?
Yeah, I think I'm not going to go back. I promise you, because we've moved on from it. Okay, I think we're living in a red flag right now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so we saw the red flags coming. People was telling us, look at the red flags. They just didn't use words like red flags. They like, oh, Trump's going to do this and the world is changing. But then people are, no, it seems like when you say something wrong, they praise that. But when you say the right things that can actually make a change, I feel like those are all red flags, because people have been saying, no, let's not go that direction. But if you say something about wearing your natural hair or something like that, some people praise you and they be like, oh, that's good. But then some, as soon as you say something about weave or just say something, it's like, that's bad. No, I think the red flags are people trying to turn us against each other, because the weaves are good, the regular hair is good, the natural hair is good, the braids are good, tracks are good, black, white, we're all good. I just feel like, like I said, not to go backwards, I just feel like we was just in a big ass red flag. So God had to be like, here's some COVID, here's Delta, here's, you know, because y'all ain't listening, y'all ain't catching these red flags. So here you go, bow, 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 like, you know. But in terms of me personally, I've ignored some red flags because I figured that I could fix it. You know what I'm saying? I could fix it. Or maybe, you know, sometimes you just got to go along to get along. But no, you can't ignore those red flags. When you see it, you know, it's okay if you know, like you still deal with whatever it is, mentally, physically, financially, whether it's with a mate, something at work, your children, neighbors. But after a while, you don't ignore that red flag.
I'm trying to tell you, because they're there for a reason. Like you said, it's I just looked it up real quick just to get a literal definition, and it's a warning sign of danger or a problem.
It is.
That's what this dictionary is saying a red flag is. And to your point, it's funny you said that we're living in a red flag. That's funny. That's funny. But it's so true.
Yeah.
But it's so true because you look around. There's just so much going on, you know. But yeah, I've ignored quite a few flags.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I just ignored them straight up, I didn't want to see them.
Girl.
I don't know. Like I thought that it would get better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I found, for me personally, the only way to move past the red flag is to do something about the situation.
Got to.
You have to, especially when it comes to matters of the heart and family issues, because I think the ones that affect us the deepest. Mm-hmm. You know, it's one thing to be out in the world and having to work and go to the store and having a good time of socializing, but you're going to spend the majority of your time, you know, you're going to spend anywhere from, 10 to 8 hours home sleep, you know, home with yourself, home with your thoughts, you know, and the things that really matter to you. So I think it would definitely behoove us to, whatever those red flag situations are in our lives, whether it's a toxic relationship, you could have a red flag again with your finances, you know, like warning, if you don't set your budget or if you don't stop shopping when you know you need to be taking care of your bills or whatever, you know, things of that nature. Warning with your children, red flags with your kids, you know, you're noticing a change in their behavior, things of that nature. It's always better to address the issue and be heads up and be offensive than it is to be on the defense and having to figure shit out. And oh my God, you know, you're running amok and being led astray because you weren't prepared. You didn't face the situation head on. So I think I like seeing the red flag jokes again. I think they're freaking hilarious, and they're usually centered around relationships, just stuff people go through, you know, because they choose to go through it. But again, you know, we should definitely do something about those flags and get through it, because it's only going to make whatever the situation is, it's just going to make it worse. Mm-hmm. I've never seen this. Have you ever seen a situation where there was a red flag and you ignored it and it got better?
No.
Okay. Me either.
No. Nope. Nope. And if it was, I really would say it, but it's not.
Right. I want you so bad. I want you so bad, but I can't.
Yeah. So. It's just like they said, when a person shows you who they are, believe them. You know, and that doesn't necessarily mean that's a bad thing. Even that red flag, I'm not even saying that that's a bad thing. It's a bad thing for me. Mm-hmm. I noticed that red flag. For her or him or that family member, that may not be a red flag. Why? Because they're used to that, or maybe they know how to deal in that. Or maybe God put them here on earth for them to deal with that particular red flag. But for me, notice the red flags that's in your life. You know what I mean? And then and Sam, it's kind of off subject, but when we get ready to close out, I want to tell you something that I heard the other day from Steve Harvey.
Okay.
Whenever we get ready to close out, because I feel like it's a really good thing. It's got something to do with red flags, but it's just got something to do with us as a whole to close it all out.
Okay. You know? All right. Well, I mean, that's all I had to say on red flags. If you just want to go ahead and take us
okay. So look, so what he was saying was basically he referred to an hourglass, right? He was saying how some of us, the reason we can't see the red flags, the reason we can't or won't see what Dave Chappelle is doing or seeing what we're doing is because we're so focused on everything that has went through the sand at the bottom of that hourglass. You know, when it comes down, he says so many people are so worried about that sand that's already done passed through the hole. He was like, you cannot worry about the sand that's already done passed through. He was like, you got all of this up here to work with. You know, he was like, what you need to be focusing on is those little trickles that God gives you every day. He woke you up every day. Focus on those little trickles, because those little trickles can just be something great, but you cannot, but you're going to have to get to let all of that sand build up to where you can build yourself up. And girl, the way he broke that down. So I just wanted to say, focus on that sand that's trickling in the middle. Every little bitty blessing that you have today, live for it today.
Yes, ma'am.
Be open to what somebody is saying. You know, yes, if you want to look at what he's saying as a negative, that's fine. But also look at it. Where's the positivity in this? What are these people thinking about? Even with them whole MAGA thing and all of this Trump stuff. Hey, let me see. Okay, this is foolishness here. I've given it some time. I've looked at it. I've examined it. This is some BS here.
Right.
You know, you've examined it. You know, with those little trickles that you have. Now let's move on, because what we're not going to do is have a lot of MAGA shit at the bottom of my sand glass, or a whole lot of all this other mess at the bottom. No, do what you can with this sand at the top, because you don't know what's at the top of that sand. You know, so I just think that was a really, really good reference. I don't know how you can find it. It was on the Steve Harvey Morning Show, so I don't know, but I just feel like if we all just focus on that little sand that's trickling in the middle, it'll make us and this world a better place, you know.
Absolutely. And it'll keep us from focusing on the next hourglass.
That's
the problem there, you know what I'm saying? But I could totally understand the analogy, and I see it as a positive thing. You know, the fact that you even have sand left in your hourglass.
Girl.
You're right. You got time to, you know, pivot, make moves, do what you need to do and get there. But yeah, just that's a really big thing, the sand at the bottom, because I think it's hard to get past the past. Sometimes it's really hard, because sometimes we're left with those ramifications. Like it'd be easier to move on if I have this kid from this debt relationship, or if I didn't, you know, if I wasn't in debt from whatever happened, it'd be a lot easier to move on. But the fact that you are able to move on, and that you have, and there's people out there who's gone through what you've gone through, and you can glean from them. You know, I can really appreciate that. I'm sure we did.
But they can't appreciate that little saying that's trickling as God waking you up every day. God giving you grace every day. God giving you this and that every day. You can't even focus on that, because you're still focusing on the bottom of it. Come on, that saying at the bottom is not where you need to be. Focusing on, let's look up. What you got for me?
That's right. You're gonna turn into the bag lady, worrying about what's at the bottom of the glass, because you know. So we hope this encourages somebody. We know, listen, we know we can relate. We know that it's been some tough times in life. There's been some tough situations, but again, if you have the faculties of a mind, you have the abilities to work and to just move about, and you don't have to really depend on anybody to help you do what you need to do. You're blessed. Okay. First of all, you're blessed indeed. All this other stuff is the cherry and the icing on top. You know, your situation will absolutely change. You just got to work it. That's it. That's all I got, Miko.
That's it for me too, guys. We just hope you take something from it. Like she said, we'll talk to you guys next week.
All right. Peace out.